Assumption of office as President of India dated 25th July 2002 at New Delhi. The Vision of India. Get ready for the shorthand dictation number 1. Respected Shri Narayan Ji, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, Chief Justice of India, Speaker of Lok Sabha, members of the Union Council of Ministers, Governors, Chief Ministers, Deputy Chairperson of Rajya Sabha, Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha, members of Parliament, Excellencies, friends and children. My greetings to all of you. When I see in front of me the distinguished dignitaries, including a number of senior diplomats representing their countries and other eminent personalities, a beautiful Tyagaraja Swamigal's Kirtana in Sri Raga echoes from my heart, which literally means I salute all the great noble-hearted human beings. I thank the members of Parliament and state legislatures for having elected me. The endorsement I have received from the nation, giving me the responsibility to realize our shared dream of India with prosperity, harmony, and strength, is really overwhelming. 10 illustrious personages have adorned this office of the President and contributed to the nation building with their outstanding personal qualities. I salute them all. While I assume the office of the President of Republic of India with humility and gratefully recognizing the immense trust the people of the country and the political system have reposed in me, I promise to endeavor to fulfill the aspirations of our people. Indian civilizational heritage is built on universal spirit. India always stood for friendship and extends warm hands to the whole world. We have made significant achievements in the last 50 years in food production, health sector, higher education, media and mass communication, industrial infrastructure, information technology, science and technology, and defense. Our nation is endowed with natural resources, vibrant people, and traditional value system. In spite of these resources, a number of our people are below the poverty line, undernourished, and lack primary education itself. Our aim is to empower them to be poverty-free, healthy, and literate. A country needs to have the characteristics as defined in Thirukural, composed over 2000 years ago. That is, the important elements that constitute a nation are being disease-free, wealth, high productivity, harmonious living, and strong defense. All our efforts should be focused towards building these five elements at various levels in a coherent and in an integrated manner. I am convinced that our nation, with a strong, vibrant, and billion plus population, can contribute to realize these elements. Today, our country is facing challenges such as cross-border terrorism, certain internal conflicts, and unemployment. To face these challenges, there must be a vision to ensure focused action of 1 billion citizens of this great country with varied capabilities. What can be that vision? It can be none other than transforming India into a developed nation. Can government alone achieve this vision? Now we need a movement in the country. This is the time to ignite the minds of the people for this movement. We will work for it. We cannot emerge as a developed nation if we do not learn to transact with speed. I recall the saintly poet Kabir's wisdom to us. काल करे सो आज कर, आज करे so ab. That means what you want to do tomorrow, do it today. And what you want to do today, do it now. This vision of developed nation needs to be achieved with parliamentary democracy, which is the core of our governance system. The basic structure of our constitution has stood the best of time. I am confident that it will continue to be responsive to the demands of changing situations. The first and foremost task is to respect and uphold the constitutional processes in the best interest of our people and our nation, without fear or favor, and with fairness and firmness. India is a union of states based on the framework of cooperative federalism. Within the cooperative framework, there is also a requirement to develop competitive strengths for the states so that they can excel at the national level and the global level. Competitiveness helps in ensuring economic and managerial efficiency and to be creative to meet new challenges. These are essential to survive and prosper in a vast, fast-changing world of today. In addition, in order to strengthen democratic processes and institutions, we should all truly strive for substantive decentralization. I wish to emphasize my unflinching commitment to the principle of secularism, which is the cornerstone of our nationhood and which is the key feature of our civilizational strength. During the last 1 year, I met a number of spiritual leaders of all religions. They all echoed one message, that is, unity of minds and hearts of our people will happen and we will see the golden age of our country very soon. I would like to endeavor to work for bringing about unity of minds among the divergent traditions of our country, along with speedy development aimed at elimination of poverty and unemployment. National security has to be recognized by every Indian as a national priority. India, indeed, making India strong and self-reliant economically, socially, and militarily is our foremost duty to our motherland and to ourselves and to our future generations. When the child is empowered by the parents at various phases of growth, the child transforms into a responsible citizen. When the teacher is empowered with knowledge and experience, good young human beings with value systems take shape. When individual or a team is empowered with technology, transformation to higher potential for achievement is assured. When the leader of any institution empowers his or her people, leaders are born who can change the nation in multiple areas. When the women are empowered, society with stability gets assured. When the political leaders of the nation empower the people through visionary policies, the prosperity of the nation is certain. The medium for transformation to developed India is the empowerment at various levels with power of knowledge. A roadmap for realizing this vision of developed India is in front of us. At this juncture, I recall a beautiful thought of Dr. G. G. Swell, an eminent leader from Northeast. We must have a mental infrastructure. Mental infrastructure means sincerity of purpose, of vision, of purity, of heart and mind. When I travel across our nation, when I hear the sound of waves of the three seas around the shores of my country, when I experience the breeze of wind from the mighty Himalayas, when I see the biodiversity of Northeast and our islands, and when I feel the warmth from the western desert, I hear the voice of the youth. When can I sing the song of India? What can be the answer? I have so far interacted with over 50,000 school children during the past 1 year. I would like to share with you my answer to the urge of these children. If youth have to sing the song of India, India should become a developed country which is free from poverty, illiteracy and unemployment, and is buoyant with economic prosperity, national security and internal harmony. To create this transformation, we all have to resolve ourselves to work and sweat for the national development. I would like to share the song of youth which I normally recite with the school children here at this juncture. I am very happy to see the children present here representing the future generation. Through them, I would like to convey the song of youth to all children of our country and the people. As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, I realize small aim is a crime. I will work and sweat for a great vision, the vision of transforming India into a developed nation powered by economic strength with a value system. I am one of the citizens of the billion. Only the vision will ignite the billion souls. It has entered into me. The ignited soul, compared to any resource, is the most powerful resource on the earth, above the earth, and under the earth. I will keep the lamp of knowledge burning to achieve the vision, developed India. If we work and sweat for the great vision with ignited minds, the transformation leading to the birth of vibrant developed India will happen. This song, when sung in our own beautiful languages, will unite our minds for action. I pray the Almighty, may the divine peace with beauty enter into our people, happiness and good health blossom in our bodies, minds and souls. Jai Hind. Thank you.